And good day. Alright, so I've just let my cat out a bit early, so I won't have cute little feline rubbing up against my feet while I'm trying to play this. Did lead to a bit of a jump scare yesterday. I'd like to just contribute something to the masses. So look, here's my experience playing a game which I think would probably be rated, on launch, 7 out of 10 if you're being really picky and going, oh look, there's little bugs and I'm not sure if the developer's ever going to come back and redress them. And then about 2 days later, when there's been like 4 patches, launched on version 2, 3 and 4, there was a patch each day. It's a solid 8 out of 10. The software is perfect. If you're a fan of the genre, it's a 9. If you're the sort of person who likes to generate hype and you wanted a positive review, yeah, this game would be the 10 for this type of game. So, what's reviewers tilt? I'd say it's a 9. But I was a big fan of Colonial Marine, the 90s Aliens vs Predator games by Rebellion. So Atari Jaguar, if you didn't mind with an alien turning at like 15 frames a second, felt a bit jerky. And then the later one, a few years later, which was on PC, which was really fun. It was like an arcade shoot 'em all. You kind of felt tough, you didn't really care, and you just enjoyed just mowing them down. So when it comes to this game, I did find that by turning the difficulty level up to hard, I feel like it's now the game it's meant to be. Now, I don't know if the AI of the enemies changes. Interviews with developers suggest that might not be good. I don't know. I haven't read enough on the topic to know if their AI changes, but I've found the dynamism in the game and the combat on the hard difficulty level is just epic fun. And you don't care. You've got a safe game to fall back on. The notion of Resident Evil style save systems being antiquated, well, they were kind of antiquated when they came out. The point was for the type of game, the risk reward of conserving ammo and pushing back or pushing forward is a gameplay hook. It is a gameplay mechanic. So this game has really got some epic balance. The efforts they've put into it are just exceptional. I don't feel I'm going to do very well today on the simple basis that you really need your headphones, go into your PlayStation, configure your 3D audio profile, tune the system to your ears so that the sense of what is in front and behind you through your headphones is very, very clear. And then when you play this game, you realise it's just epic. The nature of the audio and surfaces diffusing the sound, and the fact they've got so many hundreds of sound channels, as you really feel like you are walking around a defunct location with lots of machinery and lots of things that are still running and generating noise. And so the little scampers and scurrying sounds and the clawing against metal, and you can tell when it's on the other side of a surface, and it does lessen your fear rate. Right, so look, there's a lot of fun to be had. I before I jumped in, just listening to what the developers were saying, and people sort of saying, "Oh, the motion detector doesn't beep when it's not out" or something, and I'm like, well, hang on, why not put it down on a surface? And then I was reading with the developers or watching a video with them, and they're like trying to instruct someone, going, "Oh yeah, maybe put it down," and it's just like, yeah, totally. And if you live the game like you're there, and you just sweep the corridors and play properly, and use your hearing. You do fine. But across the 2 games, several games I've played, I tried one difficulty, I've tried it the other. There is very, very big differences in the way that you can engage with the enemy. I think everyone might be getting different experiences out of the game. I noticed one playthrough where I paid particular care to my sound through the environment and my unwieldy motion detector, and it was bumping off things, and the enemies were different depending on possibly that. And so yeah, when I played through a lot more quietly and sneaking around like a mouse, it was really fun. I'm sort of now almost in the habit of hiding my motion detector screen when I know I'm moving past motion that is, something that I don't want to make a ping sound, just in case the enemies they're acuitive, they're sound based. So for me, that eased a lot of the fear off. I don't mind having my headlight on, my torchlight on, looking around scenes now, knowing that they just don't see the light. That's true. There's animals in life. I've been maintenance, security at a park at night, and lots of possums out and spotlight them with my torch. And they just don't see the light roll over them. It's just not in the spectrum of light that their eyes, I guess, are seeing or filtering. And the xenomorphs, the way the programmers have written them, audio. So a lot of fun. Okay, let's give it a go. Money where one's mouth is, eh? Okay. So the last few days I've really been appreciating playing with different headphones, trying to find the ones that give me a really good sense of sound. And one of the things that has come with that been the benefit of a good set of over-ears and how they can stabilise the headwear. And so I've actually been playing some of the longest play sessions I've ever played. Thoroughly enjoying my time playing. But yeah, look, for anyone out there, I'll redress the elephant in the room, which is reprojection. A lot of people out there are like, oh, I can't handle games that way. I avoided all the early games that did the repro. And was really hesitant when, even up to a few weeks before the game came out, that the existing footage we could see was running at such a low frame rate. And everyone in this space going, oh, look, you're going to need high frame rate to 2 screens. You can't have it running at this really slow frame rate. And it just straight away it telegraphed to everyone that it's going to be running in reprojection, you know. But of course, the final product is really fluid, it runs really well. And as someone that's quite sensitive to reprojection and has avoided all so yeah, I'm not a fan of reprojection generally, and what you'll notice
we are here
is
welcome to Predictor.
It's pretty hard in this game to tell. Like, I can put up the reprojection in Gran Turismo. I should probably be able to skip all this. I didn't want to do the cutscenes. I did kind of want to jump into the game, let people enjoy.
We are approaching the rendezvous point. Castor's cradle should be coming into hammer range shortly.
Now I wonder if I do that, if that just keeps playing in the background. Alright, so in a lot of games it does. I think it does. Excellent. So the story is really good, and I'm a bit of a fan of letting people experience things for their first time. In terms of gameplay, over the first 40-50 minutes, it was my intention certainly to stop playing at a point in the game where things really change up. It's not in terms of gameplay, they just change up graphically, and for me it really felt really true to the Aliens universe.
To tell him.
I mean, definitely we can't say Zula Hendricks and Davis from AWOL Marines requesting landing at your covert facility to extract your chief of security.
Right, so essentially that is the story. So I think it's still carrying on when I jump out here. Yeah, maybe. Oh no, hang on, not that one.
I some kind of inner feeling.
Yeah, this one. Right, my apologies. So I do that, and then I do that, and we could just skip a few moments. Look, so if you're wanting to watch the intro to the game, there's a ton of videos out there that will do that one. I guess I just wanted to get the gameplay going. I probably should have had it started, should have had a save game. That opening moment, ready to roll. Alright, so here we go. The part 1 seems to be causing issues for people. It really isn't. They knew ahead of time. They've got the script for part 2. This is all sort of sneaking out by very, very tired internet reviewers on long podcast chats. So they're sort of giving the info.
You tell me. What's our status?
Intact.
So yeah, they've got a part 2 script.
Engines are critical with
It's going to be
significant damage
DLC.
to several airflow valves. We're still attempting to get sensors back online, but no sign of additional hostilities as of yet.
Not sure if that's good news or bad news. We should be swarming the station security after that grand entrance.
It is possible we encountered automated defenses. I will attempt to make contact, but we need to do something about the engines. How's your back?
So I guess it's tutorial time, learning how to walk around.
Let's find out.
So this is amazing. It's 60 in repro. I won't play any of the games. They're just not my style. This one's fine, and I've played for huge amounts of time. Now, I have to apologise. I think when I run, it's going to get tunnel vision, and I've got it set to snap turn.
Go attend to your biological maintenance.
And I'm not really a fan of the snap turn, but I use it in this game on the basis that it's so addictive, and I just want to keep playing. And if snap turn's going to up my ability to play it for longer, then I'll do it. But I keep beating each play session to sneak it, just take it out of that, and I just keep doing it. So, alright, so I like in traditional 2D games. Big fan of removing the head-up display wherever possible.
Davis, come in.
So games that
Realize whatever going on out
in
there.
the crate gaming space, the pancake gaming is flat. Something yummier. But yeah, in the 3D gaming space, the ability to twist your arm and look at information that might be on your wrist or something is all really good. What have we got? Gear select, empty hand, grab the data pad. Right. Dot, yes. Dot, yes.
Alright. Time for some answers.
Alright, so.
Hey, Andrews. Guessing you've got a lot of questions right about now. I wanted to explain everything in person.
So, I'm just going to confirm I'm
Looks like
thinking.
you're
Yes. So, I give up a lot of environmental awareness when.
Your tablet will be able to interface with the computer terminals here. Think massive caster's cradle.
When I'm obviously in this space. If I've only got the two speakers in front of me in my room, it tells me I've got to face this way, which is handy for the camera and recording. But it does mean, normally when I play this game, one of the few games I get highly immersed, facing the wrong way. It's been interesting over the last few days
Hard choices.
playing with lots of over-ear headphones. A lot of them have been on 5-meter headphone
I need
cables.
to make this right.
And so I've actually got multiple cables
You do everything that way to
Running
do
out.
the right thing.
to where I am. And a lot of these are just really long cables. And so I'll have several cables on the floor and then I'll twist it around, yonks. And of course, there must be some times I'm getting pretty close to destroying some stuff in my house, is my guess. Or running into a wall, standard thing, which the protective barriers do such a good job saving me hurting myself, including kicking tables or punching the edges of things because of right there it should be, and it brings up a little barrier around me again and tells me what's going on. Right, so right.
I'm in.
Get this out. So the interaction in these stations, I mean, if you haven't heard other reviewers raving about it, really good. I mean, this isn't good as a review, it's more of a preview.
Got me that?
It's exceptional. So look, as someone who doesn't do horror games, who probably a bit of a claustrophobe, concept of walking around in these sorts of spaces, not my type of gaming. Sense of fun, I
Oh,
guess.
see the O2 go off.
But it is.
Looks like the
This
terminal
game
is cracked.
doesn't cause me any issues
Yeah.
with things that just about anything else would, which
Got the O2
it's just the developers. It's the perfect audio. It's the really good vision. It's there is a fast turnaround button. I think you can turn around 180 degrees really quickly, which I think I've set in one of my games, but I guess this one isn't doing it right. Haven't needed to use it yet enough.
Status?
Engines require further stabilization.
But as I said, we're in that
Significant
tutorial
effect
stage
on
of the
ship is
game.
fit to fly again. I attempted to contact Amanda
Not
Ripley for
having surround
assistance,
sound is going to
but
hurt me.
encountered the same long-range jamming that blocked our heads.
You need to be able to hear stuff coming up from behind.
So,
And in a firefight, that's
what's the situation now?
that's pretty much what you'll be doing, or what I'll be doing. Is I put my motion detector down to cover one direction, and then I turn my back on it, and then I cover the other direction with my eyes, and certainly training my gun on movement.
Then. Keep an eye out for Carl.
But look, the foveated rendering is fantastic. The Unreal Engine 5 and the quality
You
of
have no
assets
choice but to separate.
is just
So please
amazing.
ensure your
And
gear is fully functional. Can you check your motion
unlike
tracker for damage?
games that are out of a video budget and don't have the ability to draw beyond the space that you're in, the fact that this constantly does is just fantastic.
They can still pick up
So
more
an
status
example
symbols at least.
Cute. Let's go to your
reprojection,
rifle.
I basically only noticed on tools in my hands, and it's if I'm trying to read really specific information on the display whilst I'm moving it, and if I pan it at I don't know, certain speeds, maybe change that speed a little bit, the prediction can get out a little bit, and it gets just a little bit fuzzy. It's great. It's nothing. Like it's not. It's just not bad. Right, so, let's do this.
Pulse rifle check.
You'll find ammo.
So
in your
I'm a big
compartment
fan
to
of
the
catching
left.
them. It's all about being silent, remember?
Davis. That's everything. Ready to roll
So
out.
I'll radio you if the situation changes.
anytime I'm playing the game
Stay safe out there.
and I'm running around a dodgy scary environment and I don't want to make noise, when I eject, I like to catch. Just put it straight back on your body. Of course, it's all quite physical. A lot of fun. And I haven't seen the movies in enough years to not be able to do all the. Is it Hicks Hudson run a bypass?
It's possible.
Probably
the lever
Hudson.
is not
He seemed
sending the
pretty well
signal
trained in those
engaged
movies.
the electromagnetic light
So
circuit.
we
I
just
don't
have
have
to
the
wrap
quotes
this up
ready to go.
again.
I do not like the way you were saying
I
that.
know is that, and you can aim down the sights. And I haven't played Pavlov enough to know, but I've heard in other people's reviews saying that if you get the gun too close to your body, you start going and look down the sights mode. And it's the same in this game. That if you're moving quite quickly, when the gun comes up, you'll actually slow down. Well, it reduces the turning and the pivoting, which is what you want. Some people didn't like it, kill zone, when weapons had weight, but from an immersion point of view,
Zula, really?
it's really what you want.
Inside the ship.
Okay, so some of the things that are different in this game to every other game, likely because of Unreal Engine 5,
That the joy in your voice
is the snow particles and how they hit surfaces. And
I'll be back when I
the
have
sense
plans.
of wind and blowing in this world is amazing. Volumetrics in any way, like this crazy amounts of alpha in the air, of grayscale in mist, very hard to render. But having physical particles hitting the ground and rolling on. So, yeah, okay. And I mean, you can do this. Which quest?
Hawkins, what excuses any to double check my sidearms?
So yeah, I typically will put it on a surface. Now at this stage of the game, I don't think there's any real risk. But yeah, there you go. You can slap it in, you can hit the button again. It's quite diverse. I'd recommend jumping in the menus, changing your hotspots on your body so that they are exactly where you think they are. I like to make it so that to get my handgun, I'm literally punching my leg. Just it's a consistent spot. Sort of feel like the middle of combat, but I don't necessarily miss it. I wouldn't want to have to shoot from the hip. I don't think it's that precise. I do like to see it in my hands. And quite a few other things. You stabilise them, and I think the game just ups the damage. It reduces the recoil, yes. From what I'm seeing, it looks like. Remember when you play a game like Battlefield versus Call of Duty and people don't understand that if you go prone or crouch and hold your breath right before shooting, you're going to have a more stable shot and it will do more damage, it'll be more accurate to the target. And the people are like, well, no, if I can get my cursor over the head of the enemy, it should just hit. And it's a little bit of role playing, right? You put a little bit of role playing in your world with a whole bunch of number tables. And like this game is, when people say it's the Alien Isolation kind of sequel, you know, people acknowledge it's not as good, but it's not bad.
Looks like there is an additional entry point in the garage. You may encounter similar issues if the facility is locked down.
Certainly
Copy that.
in the Alien
Keep an
universe,
eye
this
out
is
for
one of the
key
best.
card while I try the
ever.
garage.
So apologies for having the vignetting coming in. Is that vignetting? What is it for that? Reduces.
Davis, come in.
Need
It's
supervisor
just a busted
instructions.
sensor.
Any indications of what damaged it?
And then you get these mini games.
Looks like the
They're
wiring
actually
around here
quite
falls short of safety code. Open sesame.
fun. Alright. But yeah, you can run around the world. Look around all the various places. It does encourage exploration. And that's, I think, why people get frustrated with the safe rooms, where you've got to make a decision. Do I run back and save my incremental progress and risk using up precious resources? Or do I push on and trust I'm going to do really well?
Hey, Davis? Any guesses why Castra's cradle needed panic rooms?
Panic. Right, so
Alert your
And so this would be the first of several save rooms.
Data packet accepted.
I don't think you can make progress without
Please wait.
going to them. Oh, this one certainly.
The data pad alone grants limited access to the facility. An employee's PDT key card will be needed for more of the cursory search.
No sign of Carver yet. I'll have to find someone else's there.
So this pre-baked lighting, the developers said they were using NVIDIA 4090s and they got the render time down from hours down to like 30 minutes per effect. And they're using this really advanced pre-baked lighting where, you know, again, video cards that can render effects over hours to generate the effect and save it almost as a pre-baked animation you just apply on certain surfaces when certain contacts happen, etc., certain conditions are met. And oh, it's so good. But I haven't found, people say they're on a, like every 4 minutes route. And I thoroughly disagree with that. It's just not been my experience.
Davis, I've got bad news. We've got X-rays.
Maybe I haven't played it far enough, but I've just found that
I'll meet you immediately.
No.
careful exploration
Working on the
and
ship,
proper
we're gonna leave it
searching
open.
areas, not constantly reviewing where I'm at. And the mix-up is fantastic. I've had the same areas I've played through, and I'm going through, and it's just different. You know, like I'll get a different ping on my motion radar, and I'll be climbing down in a sewer in the muck. There'll be a ping, so I'll sort of figure out, okay, it's above me, and then I'll track, okay, it's possibly close to that exit, okay, I'll pop up over here. And just brilliant art assets such that wherever you look, there's always, just like the movies, you know, the piping and the steam hanging in such a way where you just can't quite tell if the outline is something nefarious. And yeah, they've just built this perfect game.
Davis, this place is giving me the creeps. Looks like I'm being
Guess what
watched.
sounds over
On the
there.
radio side. Gotta hear him come.
Understood. Please check in when possible.
Right. So here's an example of, you can easily start making noise if you start picking up boxes and drop things running, like anyone who played the Thief games back when hardware sound was starting to allow us to obfuscate sound and do all sorts of clever stuff. A whole mini genre of games based on sound came out. Now Thief the Dark Age, I think, was the first one. If you're walking on carpet, of course, your footprints made less of a sound than if you're walking on hard surfaces. But anyone that's played a little bit of Hunt Showdown will start to recognise when you come into an area and you start seeing all this noise litter on the ground. You got to make a decision: do you want to trigger it or not? So, look, I'm a big fan of. Okay, so that area is now somewhat covered. So now, if I want to look out that way, I can cover that way. Right? Now, obviously, there's all sorts of areas where things come from. And again, if you're going to shoot, do brace your gun. Else things are going to get.
Finally, there's something
crazy.
functional in this dump.
Facility containment protocols in effect. Would you like to restore functionality?
So we'll close our door there. It helps to have your spotlight on until there's too much mist. If you've ever driven down a road with lots of fog, you find that turning your car lights on to high beams reduces your vision.
Please wait until more control purge is complete before entering the facility.
So there's the end. Oh, I should have.
Purge complete.
I'm going to be in a lot of trouble now. I've only got 60 rounds. Oh, I can't believe I did that. So, I thought I was pretty badass when playing the game first time round. I generally kill them within 20 rounds. 50 was if I was just hosing and doing a really bad job. And then on the hard difficulty level, I'm like, oh my lord, I did it within a clip. Like, basically, you know, I'm just that much happier. Alright. So, obviously I've got a little bit of freedom with having played it a few times, certainly through these sequences, as to how worried I am at any given moment. You can see that I'm just a little bit more relaxed, I'm not expecting a jump scare. But the game has proven to be consistently dynamic, that's definitely true. To a point where I do kind of stay on my guard. Try to. And classic to the movie Aliens, which if you're going to watch, you've got to do the special edition, right? Like I'm not going to make out like I'm a huge Aliens fan. Everyone who's playing these videos probably feels that way. You know, it's like you got that family member that thinks they like Star Wars more than everyone else, or something, Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or whatever. And we all only know our own experiences. Well, okay. So right now I'm hyper nervous on the simple basis that usually the sound that I get, I've lost all my, right. Tell things weren't right just there. Yeah. So yeah, without, you've got to play with your headwear on. You've got to have that sense of surround sound. Because I just got
Releasing nearby door controls. Please wait.
oh wow. So yeah, look,
The data pad alone grants limited access to the facility.
there's still one around.
PDT key card will be
Control.
available on the cursory search.
No sign of Carver yet. So this is why you call this Carver. Davis, I've got bad news. We've got x-rays.
There are uniforms down there. Where are you? I'll meet you immediately.
Okay. Well,
I need you working on the ship if we're gonna leave in a hurry.
Very well. Be careful, Zula.
you know, the material properties of the layers to any given surface, such that just the ammo counter on the gun and how there's plastic over the front of it that reflects it. I mean, it'd probably be glass. Just the way the colours change, they're just beautiful. Wow. Okay, so I've not really had that issue there before, and then to pop back up out here and then have a xenomorph already in this area, it's fantastic. Got to learn to use my dash right before they hit me. But yeah, the lighting in the game is fantastic. The graphics are fantastic. The sound is fantastic. The IP, like having all the original iconic sounds, like the M41 pulse rifle, 41A, 41A. They go, I'm more of a fan than you are. Yeah, fair enough. I defer. But yeah, look, I mean, I was a pretty big fan of the 90s. I did buy a lot of
This place is giving me the creeps. Feels like I'm being
comics
watched. Go on the radio
I
side.
really liked news stories. It gave the story of Hadley's Hope and what happened to all the people there. And also what it's like to be in a situation like this where you're trying to make a last stand against Xenos. All right, yes, I've got to redo this. Oh, sweet. So look, I must admit, that's the first I've gone down easy. Like easy. That thing stuck up on I said nothing on it. So
Finally, something functional in this dump.
it's just so good. Yeah. At this point, I'm a little bit. I don't want to replay the same. It's a game for other people. So I'll have one more crack at this, just to show a little bit of gunplay, how it might be dynamic, and then
Emergency lockdown suspended. Please wait until
but you'll see that the way this one introduces itself to the shadow, because you've got these pipes that are moving anyway. This one here is like a pre-render where it always starts there, it doesn't expose itself.
complete.
You know, I've then had a double. See, a few different spots. Oh, no, this one's always. Okay, 40. That's not too bad. Clips go. Drop them.
Facility containment protocols in effect. Perfect. Would you like to restore functionality?
That was my fault for getting in close quarter combat and not having the appropriate weapon. Oh dear. So yeah, look, the game is fairly dynamic. Once you get off the on rails bit here at the start, the want to just replay sections of it. I can't think of a more addictive game or a more compelling game that I just want to keep playing. And I play for the large PlayStation. I'm typically playing 2 to 3 times as long as I would ever put into just about any game in this genre. Usually because of fatigue, and it was never a problem for me. I've been VRing since the early 90s with Dactyl Challenge on an Amiga 4000 at atrocious frame rates back in the early 90s. But once I played Ace Combat and did some barrel rolls on the VR1, I have never really bounced back from that. I lost my legs, and ever since I've been really hesitant. I'm not getting my dash off. I'm putting way too many rounds.
Mags are low.
Right.
I've worked in a lot of bad situations, but never in my life have I seen such... Oh, spare me. There's some less work forced into a job just fine. And let me finish. Blatant disregard for the safety of the people here. No, Isaac, the Sims cannot handle the responsibilities of keeping those creatures contained. And for every day you pretend like they can, it doesn't matter what you say, because it doesn't matter what I say. There's no extra money this fiscal year. The board makes synthetic combat assets on your request alone. Easy for them to make that call. They're not here on this planet.
So
But
my
you
sounds
and I
tell
are.
coming from over
And it's
here,
those things
probably
that
facing the wrong
are
way.
our
But
problem. We need to figure out how we're going to get the resources we need. Benjamin Carver, use this.
Can't see a damn thing in here.
so again, probably the wrong gun. Okay, see that sound, if I was under headphones, would be explicit to where they are, and I'd be able to pre-line them up, ready for their... And there's a real paper, scissors, rock mechanic with all the areas that I can enter in a room. So it's getting toasty. Don't want readings from in front and behind. Sleep. Alright, so what do we got? So I think this here was the next panic room. See, at this point, basically, if you want to survive, don't give up your senses. And these things are crafty, and they will wait for an opportunity. So I already have motion behind me. Do I want to be so stupid as to turn my back on it while it's circling around trying to find another way to get me? Hearing it all? Not a fan of. Alright, what have we got? So I think that's... It's saying it's single digit meters away, which should be in that room, which should be basically on that floor, which means I kind of expect to get to... But I mean, you saw that it was pipes out there. Could be anything. You can get lost, you can get there, you can get rerouted down to, oh shit, yeah, there and there. you. Right, and that's making the next checkpoint. And then the top-ups. And these are random each time you come in, and they can, it will really change what your options are for the next section. It's worth, I don't have any problem with restarting a section. I like it when I'm low on a particular ammo, and yeah, a restart gives me the ones I'm after. But I mean, my little motion tracker there beeping tells me I don't really want to go back outside. So at any given point you can log in and Martinez, yay, and get involved, you know. Right, so game's a lot of fun. Oh, I just wanted to do the next section. Come on, let's go down. Yeah, see, I was not scared of this game at all until I lost my sense of feedback without the headphones telling me exactly where everything is. And I've got a cat meowing to get back in. So it's time of the day that I've got to make coffees and beverages for the fam. Tend to the next marathons. Oh. Yeah, so I've never had so many moments where they get so on me. Got to have your headphones on, definitely. Or proper surround sound rather than just stereo, I guess. Probably make a difference. But what a fantastic title. It really is. Probably one of the best experiences I've ever played. I'm not into horror games, I'm not into claustrophobic spaces. I do really like the IP that they're playing with, but with that, the developers, you can see in the interviews with them that whilst they might not appreciate guns per se, as a studio they understand that with making games it's about the mechanics. You've got to have a paper, scissors, rock mechanic. You've got to have multiple ways to do certain things or empower gamers, and they certainly seem to be doing that they've got they've just got so many little systems in play, and it all just sort of checks and feeds and rewards, and perfect game. Definitely worth your time. Definitely worth an investment of your energy. It's very polished, I would say, on release. That being said, the first day I played it, by rounds, there was no effects of them being drawn on the screen, and all the preview footage before that, all the preview footage after that, including day one reviews, all had perfect their systems all worked. As I said, there was 4 patches. That is, the version I downloaded was version 0.02. The next day there was 3, next day is 4. This is an active studio that really like their products, really love their products. They've been working with Unreal Engine. They shipped nearly double-digit products just on Unreal Engine 4, a lot of which for this style of gaming. So that they're very much aware of interactive and tactical spaces and how to not make the experience disconcerting to the gamer. And little things, like it was just the experience width when I was down in the vents, that they just were the right space. You know, they were big enough that I felt comfortable, even as someone that just would never want to be in that scenario. But I mean, that's what the game is. It's a chance to experience life as a colonial marine. Is it scary? No, it's another day on the job. That's just what you do. You have a lot of fun with it, and with your audio in place, it's a totally different game. It's one of the most immersive and experiencing perfect titles. Anyway, I hope this video is useful for someone, and I'll probably do more. But well wishes with you, and you have a great day.